My clients and I hail Virginia's victory today, and that's what this is, because she was able to accomplish what nobody else has. That is to get Prince Andrew to stand squarely with victims of sex trafficking and sexual abuse, to make a significant contribution to her charity, which will help other victims in cases that don't get media coverage, where celebrities aren't involved, but where many women are still suffering. And I represent dozens and dozens of victims of sexual abuse today. So she gets to decide when her case ends. She has decided that now is the time. I'm sure she wants to move on with her life. These cases are extraordinarily painful, and we have nothing but respect and admiration for Virginia.
Lisa, just from a lawyer's perspective, I was reading to our viewers and listeners that statement that's been issued today and trying to interrogate what the meaning of the words that it contains. That has not just been cobbled together in the course of a meeting over a cup of coffee on the back of an envelope. How much work goes into that? How much compromise? I mean, there's nothing in it which overtly says on Prince Andrew's part, I persist in maintaining my innocence. I suppose that is a given. How much work?
It's a huge amount of work. I negotiate these every day. I was on the phone yesterday in a similar case, negotiating every word. So every word that you are reading, the attorneys went back and forth over, probably chose different words. Something was taken out. I mean, look, the last part of the statement where he says that he acknowledges that Jeffrey Epstein, abused a lot of people. Don't we already know that? And Prince Andrew says that he stands with victims of sex trafficking. I mean, is that really taking a controversial stand? Don't most people stand with the victims? But yet he hasn't done that so far. So that is a victory, I think, for Virginia. And I'm sure that there's not a confidentiality clause, meaning that she is still free to tell her story. And I hope that she does, because she's been a terrific advocate for victims.
Oh, that's interesting. Ears are pricking up in newsrooms throughout the weekend's newspapers here, I'm sure, at that thought. Which rather preempts my next question, Lisa Bloom, which is legally, is this where the matter now rests?
Yes, it's over. The parties in a civil case can decide, and these two sides have made this decision, that they can settle the case whenever they want to. 95% of cases end this way. It may seem frustrating to outsiders who wanted to see depositions and a trial, but this is the decision that both sides have made, and it is now over.
Interest in this country obviously is focused on Prince Andrew, but in terms of what Jeffrey Epstein facilitated and personally did, it's a much broader scope in terms of the investigation, in terms of the number of alleged victims involved. What about their cases? Where do they go from here?
Well, in my 8 cases, we won all of them against Jeffrey Epstein's estate. And so my clients have gotten significant compensation in all 8, and their cases are done. I think other attorneys have cases that are still going on. Some of them did not win. Those victims are continuing to litigate against the estate. So we'll just have to watch and see what happens there.
Lisa, I know you need to move on, but just one final question, and I come back to the point you make that there may be no gagging order within the context of this court settlement. So it's your understanding that she is still at liberty, Virginia Giuffre, to give her side of the story, her version of events, with no ensuing legal penalty?
That's correct. I don't see anything in this settlement that would have an NDA, and I'd be very surprised if Virginia would agree to that.